guys, my name is Nozazaki, and at the beginning of this commentary, as I kill Mr. J. Slay over here, who is very silly and a recon, but before I get into anything about the Scar H, which I know is why the majority of you clicked on this video, or are watching this video, rather, the first thing I have to say is, yes, okay, I am the complete and utter idiot that hit himself with a straw. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe it's happened, but I really haven't noticed it, but I am such an idiot, but... Okay, allow me to officially start this commentary by saying, number one, I am currently, as in when this video first goes live streaming over on Twitch, so if you guys are looking for a little bit more Nozazaki in your life, or you just in general want to check that out, there will be a link down in the description, and I would definitely recommend that you do check it out, because it's going to be pretty great, mate. I would rate it an 8 out of 8. It's going to be pretty good, and I made a little bit of a mistake here. It's whatever, as I get one more gentleman over here, but I made a bit of a mistake here. I completely ran out from behind my cover and get destroyed by this guy behind me, but it's really not a big deal, because if you knew what I knew, you would look back in hindsight and you would say, not a big deal. But me getting killed by Dust and Glory, to finish my thought, not a big deal. But allow me to explain the Scar H like this, okay? It's not really overpowered OP, but the gun is broken, and what I mean by that is, in its current incarnation in Battlefield 4, the way that the gun sort of... It has to do with, like, the fire rate and the netcode. I definitely read something about this, and I believe the Scar H and the AEK, because of their rates of fire, they sort of gain an inherent advantage over other guns. Because of, you know, the way the netcode works, and I'm not exactly sure how it all goes down, because I'm not a giant expert on the whole netcode issues, stuff like that. All I know is things are better now than they were before, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, still, in its current incarnation, the Scar H is a little bit broken, and the only way I can explain that is, you know how people will oftentimes explain it to you, because you know everyone always poses the question, why is it I always feel like I die so quick, and yet it takes me forever to kill people? And that's essentially the difference between netcodes, essentially, because, you know, this is what happened, you know, the time it takes for the server to react to what you and the other players do, and the way it's represented on your screen isn't exactly always 100% accurate, and so there's sort of a little bit of error between the two. It's not exactly perfect, is what I'm trying to get at, and I tried to get a jet ski here, but it really didn't work out, but it's not that big a deal, because there's a jet ski waiting for me, like, literally 20 meters ahead in the water. It's not a big deal. But the Scar H is sort of in this position where the advantage you get for, and I tried to run this guy over on the jet ski, and it didn't work out, unfortunately, but it's a-okay, because he gets cleaned up by one of my teammates over there, and I thought this guy was going to get me. It was really scary, but he came really close, and I somehow managed to reload and get him with a compact 45, which I know I'm getting a little bit derailed here, but the compact 45, I think if you're going to run with a Scar H, which I think a few of you, at least a few of you will do after watching this video, I would definitely say that you should run with the compact 45 as your sidearm, because they have complementary damages. You know, they both do 34 in close range, and I believe they have similar drop-offs over range. And it's not a big deal that I got taken out by Crunk Lord, because I get revived by my wonderful, wonderful squad mates over here. That was one of the very nice things about this game, is I got revived somewhat frequently, and that's always a good thing. And it took me a minute to find these, like, lurking bushmasters over here, and I get this gentleman with the compact 45. You'll notice that with the Scar H, I switched to my pistol a lot because, well, number one, I'm running out of ammo constantly because that 20 rounds in the magazine. But essentially, if I can finish my point about why the Scar H is so good currently, is essentially what you see on your screen and what the enemy sees on their screen is completely different. Like, you might chastise me a bit, and I know it's sort of frowned upon to, you know, rage try a weapon, but I tried to revive these guys here, but unfortunately it didn't really work out for them. But you know how rage trying a weapon is sort of looked down upon, like, oh, I got killed by this, I need to try it. It wasn't completely like that, but essentially, when I was getting killed by the Scar H somewhat frequently, and essentially I would just get, like, you know how sometimes you'll die to, like, the ace, and you'll just be like, oh, you know, I definitely should have died in that engagement. I missed a ton of shots, and I was almost out of ammo, and I was slower to react in that gunfight. I should have lost. It was not like that at all. I was getting, like, complete netcode lagged on by people using the Scar H, and I just legitimately sat there and I just said, man, the Scar H is broken or something. And then I tried it out, and then I realized, yeah, the Scar H is sort of broken, and I kind of messed up here. They defused my charge, but I was sort of out of ammo, and that actually happened to me a lot throughout this game. And it's not a big deal that Crunk Lord gets his revenge on me, because I'm sitting here at 24 and I think 2 now, counting that death, and I was out of ammo anyway. I was sort of in a giant bind, so dying at that point really isn't that big of a deal, because I just spawned back in on my really intelligent squad mates who are up here on this building, and I have overlook on the objective, and that's just awesome. And this gentleman on the stairs has no idea what's going on. It's a Jace Slayer yet again. I don't know what he was doing, but he was definitely doing it. But okay. Essentially, when you die to the Scar H, it doesn't feel right, man. And I had to jump out of the collapsing building here, but it's not a big deal because I clean up these guys over here on the right side, and that's pretty great. Jace Slayer yet again. Damn mutual kill, but it's a-okay because this gentleman revives me, and I know I'm getting a little bit jumbled yet again, but I can definitely tell you that instance right there, if you want to go back and watch it, you'll notice that I didn't actually intend to kill both of those players in that one burst of Scar H, but the way that the bullet has such a slow bullet velocity, and it also does so much damage, that you'll notice that oftentimes you'll just get these random double kills, and it's completely hilarious. And this recon basically got styled on. He can't even handle it right now. He just got styled on. He probably shouldn't tell his friends about that, because he'll get really embarrassed about it, and that's just really poorly played by that recon there. But to finish up that point, the Scar H really isn't overpowered. It's just sort of broken in and of that. When you kill people, you won't exactly feel like a god. I mean, the thing has crazy good damage over range, although it's sort of countered out by awful recoil and ridiculously slow bullet velocity. And also the magazine size is small, but again, if you're somewhat accurate with it, the Scar H just dunks people so hard, because you can literally two-shot people in close quarters, and also there's this whole netcode delay thing I'm trying to explain, and it's just sort of weird to describe it. And right there, that is one of the things the Scar H is very good at. It's almost like the A94, if you remember back from Battlefield 3, where I wouldn't say 2-round bursts, but if you fire 1-round bursts at people, and you control your recoil and mitigate it sort of well. I'm mitigating it with an angled grip and a muzzle brake, by the way, and I would definitely recommend putting attachments on there that mitigate your recoil, not something like a heavy barrel to add to it, but something maybe to mitigate it would definitely help your case. But it's almost like the A94, where it's extremely accurate, and if you do it right, it can dunk people really quickly, but it does require some pristine accuracy. In my honest opinion, I think the only real negative trait that annoys the hell out of me is definitely the small magazine size. Like, you'll notice very often, I'll get 1 kill and immediately go for a reload, because I get exceptionally worried that I can't... I think you can usually take out 2 guys with a magazine, but you will almost never get a 3rd guy, and that's why I get so many kills with my pistol this game. And it's sort of ridiculous, but yet again, the Scar H is very, very good, and I can't really explain it any better than I have, because I'm really inept at it. I'm sorry, but I think you guys should definitely give it a whirl. And the irony of it is, I'm not going to follow my own advice here, but I definitely think that there should be a little bit of a refinement to your playstyle when you do use the Scar H, as opposed to just running and gunning with, you know, an Ace or an M416. Essentially, if you're going to use the Scar H over any of those guns, as I finished the triple kill right there, that's very, very wonderful, and I revived my teammate right here for helping me out. But if you're going to run with the Scar H, if you're going to go ballin' and go hard in the paint with it, I would definitely say that you pretty much need to sort of refine your playstyle in and of that you're going to want to back off, not a giant amount, but a little bit, because in close quarters, yes, it has a slow bullet velocity, but it also has massive damage. So essentially, if you're accurate with it, you can get away with it in close quarters, but the thing isn't good in close quarters by any means. But you can get away with it in close quarters if you're accurate with it. And I guess I guess that's sort of what happened here. I guess for once my shot was sort of on, although I don't think I'm even a remotely close to accurate player, and yet again, I don't think I'm actually following my own advice here of backing off and being a little bit more of a defensive player, and you have to use cover to your advantage with the Scar H, I think. I don't think I'm really following my example here. I think I'm doing my usual thing of just running and gunning and going fast, and it somehow sort of worked out well for me with the Scar H, but I think you guys should definitely give the gun a whirl. I think it's highly enjoyable, and I think in its current incarnation, you can sort of cheese with it a little bit. That's essentially what I feel like. Like, if you're gonna use the Scar H, just know the guy you kill is gonna. What he's gonna see on his screen is he's just gonna instantly get lit on fire and die in like 2 bullets. Whatever, just know if you're using the Scar H, and yet again, I know it because I'm using it right here, and I used it a bit more after this. I know that I feel like a piece of garbage when I use the Scar H, but yet again, that's not going to stop me from using the Scar H. So if you're okay with feeling like a piece of garbage when you use the Scar H, then go ahead and give it a try because it's very, very wonderful. But just know, the guy you're killing is going to instantly he's going to explode. Okay, what's going to happen on the screen is he's just going to explode and die, and just know that you should feel like a piece of garbage if you use the Scar H because you're cheesing people. But I don't think that's a reason not to use the Scar H, and I don't think you should either. But I'm just saying that the Scar H is definitely some sort of cheesing, and you should feel morally, at least a little bit morally, I want to say, morally infringed upon if you're going to give it a whirl. Now, if you're not using it for the simple fact of I just told you that it's sort of broken right now, then by all means go ahead and use it and don't feel bad at all, but just know that it is sort of broken right now, and that's sort of what I've tried to explain throughout the duration of this video. Now, I want to talk to you guys about something else, and I can't remember what it is. I know I had something else I wanted to talk to you about, but I can't remember for the life of me, and even here with 10 bullets, that is a 7-bullet kill, and I missed 3 of them. The Scar H is exceptionally good at range. I believe the damage profile is 34 to 25. So at minimum damage, as long as you're hitting him in the chest at least, you're gonna get a 4-bullet kill, which means in like the 100 bullets you get in spawn, you just get a ridiculous amount of killing potential. But I sort of ran out of ammo here, and I had to run around with my compact 45, and it worked out sort of well for me because I believe I picked off a couple more guys, but at this point, up till this point, I hadn't realized it, but I was essentially carrying my team. But yet again, I hadn't really realized that I was carrying my team. I thought this was just a normal game. And it got really frustrating here at the end because, okay, I get this one guy here. That guy dies right in front of me, and I try to get Mr. J Slayer, who finally gets his revenge on me. He killed me one time throughout this game. I killed him 3 times. It's not a big deal. And I thought that Assault was going to revive me, but unfortunately he didn't. But I got very frustrated because I didn't think I'd have to respawn. I thought that'd be the end of the game and I can just put a wrap on it because I'd put up a really good score up until now, and I just sort of wanted to say, okay, game's over, we win. But I saw the objective got defused, I had to respawn, but it really didn't matter because my team instantly replanted, and I think we get the objective before I even get over there. And I didn't even come close to getting a silly death at the end of the game. And I find that thoroughly enjoyable, but that is sort of, spoiler alert, the end of the game. And oh, I remember what I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about I saw a video the other day by Level Cap, and that was that they're adding the Bulldog, which is essentially, it has the same damage profile as a Scar H, but it has more recoil, and I believe it has a faster fire rate, so it kills faster if you can control it. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's necessarily better than the Scar H, simply because I'm not a giant fan of that extra recoil, but we'll see how that goes, and I'm very disappointed that I haven't heard anything about Dragonsteel, though Tuesday is tomorrow, and DICE did say summer, so hopefully we'll hear something within the next week or so. But let me just remind you that I'm currently live streaming over on Twitch. I'm a complete idiot who killed himself with a straw, and just to juxtapose that for your bonus clip, I got Sraw Mastery, and you can go ahead and check that out. I thought that was pretty neat, although the Sraw isn't in my top 5 like it used to be. I am a little bit of quick Sraw McGraw, but I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time, and hopefully you'll come out to the stream because it's baller. Peace.